statistics show that no less than 70% of people in prison are people awaiting trial.
There was no war, there was no fight, there was no riot. It's not that the boy was involved in any fracas, not that he was stealing, not that he was robbing. Just cold-bloodedly, they wasted this boy for me. Oh God, avenge my hand for me. Avenge you, God. Avenge.
My name is Victor. I'm a mechanic for Ikoku. So what really happened is on December 19, so Chima bring two cars and a customer is the 9 car. So as the car call because they normally give me work. So you can call me, say man check the motor for. So I call him, they check the motor. Now it's come cover, so no fee do the motor again. So come company motor back, put the tire. They can say man help am drive motor so that we'll go buy the motor for house. Tomorrow I go see car carry and come out again, we'll come finish work.
So I close work. So they go out. Reach US roundabout. No motor. I carry leg they go. Come see Chima, my neighbor for shop. He carry car. So I stop him. Chima carry me. Along the way, hold up today. We come turn to follow that flyover. As we are going, come down. So the other guy, Victor, carry the other Corolla, follow us for back.
So I was coming back from Aba. Chima picked me in front of my tree park. And when he picked me at front of my tree park, he was carrying Osase Friday in the front. So when we drive down to USC roundabout, we pick Ifeanyi Osuji. He told me it's his neighbor. They are staying in the same place. And now clear and pick him in USC roundabout. So on the process, there is a lot of hold up. He decided to run one way. He turned on the under flyover, Aji flyover. You understand? On the process, we run one way. Those e-crack, them block us on the way diverting to Ada George, the road that leads to Ada George.
So the minute they block us, we next to see they now started shooting gun. Stop, we stop. Then start nothing. And the man called Chairman was shocked, Jesus. So in that process, then anchored us to station, brought us down 2222. So in search all the old vehicle, there's nothing they see up inside there. So they now call us 2222 inside again. We now put us inside the cell, office of Inspector Sam. Started calling us thief. Went and stole a car running one way. We said, oh God, we're not a thief. We're workers from Ikoku.
Then when they took us to their station, they started torturing us. Collected all our phones and off them. So after torturing us that night, Chima was telling them to please, you people should help me for my phone. Let me call the owner of the car so that you people confirm that this car is not a stolen car. Because they was putting allegation on us that we stole the car. That is why we are running one way. You understand? On the process, they refused giving Chima his phone. They collected all our phone and switched it off. After that incident that night, they pushed us inside their cell.
One man then call his name by name. Bam Bam. Say today we don't enter. Say our cup don't full. If I only could tell him, sir, you're not a thief. As for me, I'm just coming out from Aba. There's no vehicle. And say la lie. They search everything, they did not see anything. In my bag, they saw Agidi with my tools. 29,000 inside, this year. See the tools they are using me robbing and they say, I'm not a thief. I'm a mechanical engineer, work, generator.
From my own experience, I see as they see us our tools, they go leave us that night. They refuse. Now, the IPO now, come ask us go to the work, come explain for a finish. If they know, they will be caught easy. I will rob you. I still know my tooth is on a hand, my coverall still there on a hand. So the workers enter inside, come put, they say make we put our shed. We come put our shed, they start to beat us. As they don't beat us here, they are finished, they come out outside, me and Victor. One now. I come me and Victor. They say na Victor, now you go talk the truth. They are not going to talk the truth. I just want to one no. I want to know. The one who I know, I don't want to tell you.
After the man torture us finished that night, then after 2 days, they now bring me and Chima out. From 11 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. They went ahead and hang both of us. You understand? So when they hang us, they are forcing us to accept that we stole that car. I was telling them, how can we accept what we do not do? Chima was telling you people to give him his phone, to call the owner of the car.
I want did not do them. They started carrying hammer, 2x2, gun, batting, be hitting us. Say today we must say the truth. I said, how do you want me to say the truth again? I'm not a thief. They said today we must say the truth. Oh. Today, that one did not do them there. Then brought two A5 and OCG with Victor Bonda at started beating them. Beat them, torture them.
They use knife on us on the process of torturing us. They use their 2x2 wood. They still use their baton and hammer. When they hang us, they tie our eyes. They use a lot of things in us. Then on the process, there is one lady calling Rose. He was pressing Chima's private part. Because I strongly believe that is that lady was pressing Chima. He follow contribute to make Chima die.
By that time, that girl, that lady, Rose, they press and block us. They using block us, they play. So they can't carry them down. They can't hang if I Onyekwe. I can't hang if I Onyekwe. They shall say you know the motor. Say if you want motor, when they call house, can't carry in BMW. They no agree. They beat them. They don't beat them finish. Carry them down. If Onyekwe no. If you walk even Chima, look on the walk again. They can't talk say see small but when I carry go thief motor. They can't bring me, can't they beat me. The boy whatever they call bam can't go say if I not talk say we thief the motor now say you go shoot me here that say no nothing go happen. Can't they beg and they shout say we no thief any motor because say okay at the pool store wait. If first carry the gun, because the gun tie knife for the gun, man, this and stab me for leg. I say stab me that leg, because they break and they shot.
So along the process, they can't carry knife, can't tear my head and my leg. Now Victor, Victor see the way where they take tear my head. Victor now can't talk out of duress, say we jump fence, go collect the man car. I say okay. I say no worry, God will go survive her.
That one did not do them there. Then brought two A5 and OCG with Victor Bonda at started beating them. Hit them, whatever thing they want to hit them. See A5 head, A5 OCG head, blood over a body. After that process now, Victor now say the blood and the incident. Say okay, you want to say the truth. You want to say the truth. Why out of the duress, as the young man Victor had said, the blood, maybe searing, maybe oath touching, must be dodged by that.
They can't hang me again. And they hang me through the and they hang me, they carry 2 by 2, go they are talk to me and they are gone. They hit me everywhere. I shit for my neck a piece. As I shit that shit piece, go blood. But they come up from my nose. They beat me before the son come for that back here where they talk on me. Come ask them whether I don't agree talk.
Around 5 o'clock, you see one of our cases, Victor is the one that is coming inside. We say, what happened? He said, then can go backyard, touching him, flog him, hang everything. We say, what happened to your body? And then say, na shit and piece, so based on the torturing and the hanging. What mean the hanging? The head is upside down, the leg is up.
When they hit us the way they like, they relax and mold their Igbo and smoke their ganja. When they smoke finish, they start where they stop. You understand?
So as Inspector Sam come ask them whether the boy don't agree to talk what they tell me to talk. They say no, say the boy they prove stubborn. I want to ask them say which stubborn what they prove to talk with I no do. Inspector Sam come bring out small gun wey come point me for waist. Tell me say if I no agree say I thief the motor say he go shoot me here. And by that time, I don't dey down. Blood they come out from my nose. I don't already shit everywhere. I don't piss. So that I can't tell them say okay, say I don't agree, say I thief the motor. Before Inspector Sam can't tell them say maybe they carry me down. As they carry me down, I can't walk that time. Go chill my boat if I make it. I drag us go put us inside. So since that time. No food, no water. Even when I come outside, I can't best my mother. Say why you no come find me where they say because tell me say they bring food. I tell say when they say any food, then they give us anything. They tell me to say before they pass food, they go pay 2,000, sometimes 1,000. No, you say the food no they reach us. I can't say when they say anything, they only got it. Wait for the people they give us. And 1 slice of bread, 5 people go share 1 slice of bread, drink, then 1 cup of garri, sleep, a day.
Chima is coming inside. They say that where is the cave meat of this young man? He says that is us. He said okay, we should carry him to the Sanvisa forest. Inside he said there is Sanvisa inside there. So if inside there we sleep. So after you not say if I Onyeko is coming up, he's shouting, help, all over his body, rise, under his feet is rise, head, hand, everywhere is bad. Now carry him to inside the Sanvisa again. After in that process, at that night, Chima is like talking out of point, saying he want to eat gala and the rest. We say, young man, this is night. We can't buy anything here. And we are in fair. Tell him to wait. Let day break. We'll get all these things for you. The young man say, he's calling. And what the young man is saying, out of point, the man started counting his hand. Counting his hand. The next thing we see, the man run down to it, picking the dustbin inside the farm forest there. The dustbin that is in there, where their peace, where everything is taking place there. The man run down there. After the man take place there, sit down there. I saw him say that because if you're going anything there, you must take permission from the DOC. I called the DOC. My casemate is running out of hands now. The young man is in the dustbin. They said I should leave it there. I said no. This man is not like this before. Immediately I remove their face, I run down to carry him out from there. Draw him out, keep it there. So the young man like saying he have 10 million, 8 million, 5 million. In sense, it's not there again. Now it up, okay, time for sleep up now. The man started doing. No, they will shift him, the man will stand. They will shift it, the man will stand. I self will shift him, the man will just boom. In that process, I said, okay, we should sleep. We are lying down inside the Sanvisa forest. That night they said that we should not make noise. People that are making noise, they think it's us. The next thing we see, they now take water. They pour inside there. We sleep on the floor inside. After everything now. Okay, the next morning now, this is 3rd of December. By 5, they say, okay, we should wake. As everybody is waking now, I wake. The young man is here like that, the way I saw him on 22nd December. It's like that. I shake him, the man fall. I shake him, the man fall. And I raise voice, say, GOC, my casement have died.
Then when they drive us inside their cell, no treatment, no nothing. After 2 days, Chima give up. Chima could not bear the pens. Chima give up.
In summary, I have reviewed the autopsy report of Mr. Chima Kunador, a 43-year-old man who was said to have died on the 23rd of December 2019. The findings were of hemorrhagic shock secondary to multiple severe soft tissue trauma with extensive hemorrhage into the soft tissues. Now, the largest bruise was said to be 30 cm to about 20 cm. So that is from here to here. So just imagine a bruise that is this long and this wide with associated tissue necrosis and swelling. The depth of the necrosis was about 5.5 centimeters. Okay, there were smaller injuries that measured about 4 centimeters to 2.5. So they were about this long from here to here, and then this wide from about here to here. And now there are multiple kinds of injuries. Some were just bruises with the skin intact but swelling underneath the tissue. And then there was some where there was a pure gash, what you call a laceration. It's also worthy of note that he had the finding of cerebral edema, the cause of which could be any of the 3 things that have been highlighted. It could be the traumatic brain injury, it could be the hemorrhage, which is the loss of blood, and it could also be the multiple septic foci, which would eventually have led to sepsis and then possibly septic shock. So it's unlikely that he died of anything related to blood sugar.
Then after some days, after 2 days later, when Chima died, they now bring 4 of us out. Mr. Ifeanyi Onyekwere, Osaze Friday, Ifeanyi Osuji, Victor Ogbonna, to explain to them how Chima died. We were thinking that these people, after much, they would release us. We don't know that they are planning another statement for us to go to prison yard. After they might see the truth. Because the owner of the car, after 2 days, Chima died, the owner of the car come to claim his car. That this car is not a stolen car. Chima is his customer that walk up to his 6 to 7 cars he has. And he has known Chima for complete 6 years now. That Chima have been working with him. They now drive that man and chase that man away. Not until when the man went out and went to the body camp and the Air Force and bring his friends he has to come and claim his car.
The car was, our cars were released. The 2 cars were released on the 30th. And later on, when I saw the charge sheet, the other 4 boys that were sent to, the ones that they sent to prison, they sent them to prison for robbing of the 2 cars on the 9th, that 9th of January, that is 10 days after. 10 days after they have released my car to me, they have released Mr. Chinedu's car to him. 10 days after. So those boys in prison custody are completely innocent. So I don't know, the level of incompetence of the Nigerian police is really appalling.
When the man claimed his car, he was telling them, what about Chima? My driver that you people arrest. They say Chima is at large. They are looking for Chima. They are saying sort of things. They are looking for Chima. Chima is not feeling fine. He's in the hospital without knowing that Chima have died. You understand? So in that incident, they still went ahead and changed our statement. So it's when they take us to the court. Inspector Amadi take us to court and bring a judge, lawyer to us. When he bring the lawyer to us, we do not even say anything. Then just conclude to write and push us to prison yard.
6th of January, no contact, nothing. We are charged in court. In that court now, we stood up, no comments, nothing. So-called Inspector Sam with his boys carried us taking us to prison. The man stopped at the dungeon prison. Say he's coming. That she want to go and take a report of releasing. That he's coming down. I say, Oga, you are taking us to this place. How can you stop in the way? He said, no, we should not worry. Everything will be okay. This and that, pleasing us. It's okay, no problem. We get to the prison yard. What we are seeing, they remind, say that we should pull our destiny, pull out everything. They say, okay, but our people is coming and they say that we should wait. They say that we should shut up our mouths. Then still they're not saying anything. They say, okay, let's remind us to prison. In that prison, they said, okay, we did the order. See, 6th of January, they brought us out again, took our statement. What we are hearing, armed robbery, kidnapper, thief then. And they carry gun, be shooting everywhere. So, okay, all this thing that you're saying, even though the Inspector Sam, the commanders, they took our picture, walked over to everywhere to check whether we are a courtist. They did not say anything. Them is coming to please us, say that the truth have already been asked. Then we are telling them, release us. They don't want to release us. We are here. They say that we know our case. We say no. They read our charge. Say we are courtesan, armed robbery. I say, how come?
The people that are taking our record, that tell us that they write for us courtesan and armed robbery. They was calling us criminals there. I say, don't mention that name, criminals. You are mentioning that name, criminals. I don't understand. You should go through our record. That is when the man read it out and tell us, look at what they passed on us. That is why they push us in prison yard.
1 week there too, nobody came to look for us again. Nobody. His Chima elder brother and the lawyer came to take our statement in prison.
We need a justice. We need justice for Chima. Then those people in the prison yard need to see them, see the kind of injured they have. The police have given them a serious, big injury. Those people should go away from the prison yard.
When was the last time you saw them?
I went there with the lawyer. We enter inside the prison yard, and when you see those boys, you will say, what is this? You need to go there and see them by yourself, see things by yourself. So those boys are innocent. They need to leave to release them from that prison.
So I don't have any other person. Same as they cut out for me, they pay for house rent for me.
It's alright, it's alright. It's okay, it's alright. It's alright, it's alright.
No longer see him again.
High Chief Ibu Anthony Alaribole, the chairman of Eco Motors Papers Dealers Union. Since the 19th December 2019 till this date, My brother, it is very disheartening. It has not been easy. The market and the escrows has been under a heavy jeopardy.
It's equal people intervention. Riot then do 2 days and give them mandate to make sure those people they push in prison yard, they should release them. They are innocent. That is when we appear in the court and they release us. They block us and carry us come to the station. Start torturing us that night. They refuse us making call. They hang us from 11 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. Chima Kumbiadi, yes. That is how Chima died. That is how Chima died.
My name is Anthony Ikunado. My one police station, Ikrak, arrested my junior brother on 19th of December. Then, when my junior brother went to the station to go and see Chima, they refused him to see the boy again. Go the next one again, they refused him not to see the boy. When he go on 25th of December, they said they have taken Chima to State CID. That's where they kept Chima. Then he went to the State CID. Chima is not there. He now came back to them. They said Chima is in the hospital. Which hospital? They don't want to say it. Since that December till now, we are looking for Chima. Until January, that is when we find out that they have killed Chima.
For Rivers State, for Ikoku, everybody they comment of goodness of Chima. Chima is not a criminal. He's not a ruffian boy. He's not an occultic boy. Chima minding his business. When he do finish, he come back. As the killer for Rivers State, then they talk of goodness of Chima. Up to this time, they no one give us Chima dead body. They no one do anything. They no one compensate, say sorry for the parents of Chima. So since December up to now, nothing have done. So Nigeria police, government, no one do anything about my son where they kill. Nigeria police, no one do anything. Give us Chima, make we go bury him. No way. They carry Chima to teaching hospital, Choba, examine Chima. They no one give us a result. What they see Chima for body, because they say Chima died for hospital, for sugar problem. Since they do that thing, they no one give us a report. Now them carry Chima dead body. They no one do anything.
An autopsy has been conducted on the corpse of an auto mechanic who allegedly died as a result of torture by the police in Port Harcourt. This comes as the Rivers State Police Command faces public criticism for the act involving 4 rather young men. Uche Okoro has been following the story and now reports.
When news of the death of Chima Ikunado was made public, the police reacted swiftly, attributing the tragedy to high blood sugar in the victim. The defense from the police immediately attracted widespread condemnation from an angry public who had no way of verifying the police claims. Injuries on the bodies of Chima's cellmates as well as their own testimonies also gave flesh to the allegations of torture.
After much all this thing that they are saying now, they say my junior brother died in sugar, high sugar level. The police PRO, Nando Boni, said that boy died in the high blood sugar level. We went to the mortuary to go and see the boy. After much dribbling and all the rest, they don't want to show us where Chima. After much delaying, till January, before we now find out that that boy is dead, They now take us to mortuary with the police attendant, the police people. We now go to the mortuary and go and see the boy. Without no autopsy on that boy body for once. They have not done anything, and my brother have no sugar level. It has nothing like sugar level. Somebody that normally work every day, sweating up and down. You are coming now to tell us that that boy died in a high sugar level. It's my junior brother. I know him. Has no sugar level. He has no nothing. It's now that you people have killed him. You are telling the public that Chima has a high sugar level. Without doing autopsy.
The story that there was autopsy before now are all lies. In fact, we asked the two medical doctors, of course, civil society, the family, and other interest group brought in our own pathologist, and of course the pathology from the side of the police. The both of them confirmed that there was no autopsy, on Chima before today.
And up till now, they are still hiding some certain things they need to bring out in Chima's case. The autopsy result, we have not seen it.
Okay, now the autopsy have done. You call pathology from Umaya. Where is the result? They don't want to release the result for us. What I want from this matter is justice. Justice must stand. I don't know, in fact, I don't know. I don't know what to say again. For just traffic offense, say they didn't enter. Say they will kill them, nothing will happen. Because they give them gun and uniform just to intimidate people on the road, embarrass people. For somebody to drive one way, there's hold up in our turn so that he can take another route. Okay, worst come to the worst, he take him to court. You cannot kill him because of a drive one way.
I don't have father. Now only my mom. My father don't die since. These people can't do me this thing. I don't like this kind of thing. God will just for me, just for my husband, just for my pikin. That's all. Anything, I don't see. My eyes are not blind.
My name is Mr. Wangoma. I was told about your husband's case.
Okay.
Yeah, so can you tell me exactly what happened?
My name is Favor. I'm from River State. This is my husband. Everything started on January 5th. We were together inside the house, just gisting, laughing. Before he received a call, his friend called him that he should come out so we can hang out together. He went out. That was around 5. He went out. So when he got there, he's supposed to call me because I told him that once he got there that he should call me. So he didn't call me, so I decided to call him from 7. I started calling him till after 11. When I called him around that 11, I wanted to sleep, so I said I should try the number again. I called him around that 11. I called him first time, no response. Second one, no response. The third one, they picked the call. That was as I heard on the background was myself and I go school. More than write statements. And we go write statement and all those stuff. So I heard that I was scared, so I called the call.
My brother Kingsley is the 4th child of the family and the 2nd son. We're more like friends because we've been together all the whole life we've been together, being a loving family. He's more like my best man in the family because we've done so many things together.
Within the next day, I saw his elder sister and his younger ones. Immediately I saw them, I just know that maybe something went wrong. So when they came in, they were like, "How far?" I say, "Fine."
So when I woke up the next morning, I was very surprised when I saw my younger sister that is married and two of my younger siblings. So I was so surprised. I asked them, why the early morning visit? And they were like, there's a little problem. I said, "Oh," they said, "It's Kingsley." I said, "What happened?"
The junior brother asked me, "You don't hear Tia?" I said, "What? What's happened?" He told me. I just smiled. So started telling the elder brother.
They said he was arrested the previous night at a nightclub in GRA, the Boss Night Lounge, to be precise, you understand? That they tried to call his number at that very time. That someone in the club, actually, someone that was in the club that knew him, had to call someone, that person that called one of my siblings. So and that's how they knew he was arrested. So they started calling him, because the whole thing happened at around 8 o'clock in the evening. They started calling him from around 9. They called him, his number was ringing, nobody was speaking. Till the number now went off. Now, coincidentally, the wife also was even at home trying to call him too in the night, you understand? So the phone was also ringing till around 11:30 when someone picked the call. And when they picked the call, what she was hearing at the background of the call was, "She wanna be on a finish school. She wanna don't go university, on a finish school. But we will help on write statement. We will write a statement by herself. We will help on write statement." You understand? That was what she was hearing repeatedly that night. And someone called the call, but she called back again. They didn't pick till morning.
I haven't listened to the very touching story of this woman whose husband was abducted from a location, along with others, and then his wife could not reach him on phone, and later she found that he and others were taken to SARS, and then the SARS official informed her that they had traveled her husband. For me, it tells you it's a familiar story, and a story of the ongoing atrocities, facilitated by the impunity that protect officers who think that they are law unto themselves.
I'm tired. I'm just using my baby to console myself. If not, the thing is, it's weighing me down.
I wasn't really too sure of who made the arrest. Like I said, let me just go back to the place where this thing happened to confirm, who actually made the arrest. So I called on my younger sister, the one that went in the morning. I called her, she came, she drove down, and we now drove down to the bus where it happened. Now, when we got to the bus, the place where the arrest was made, the nightclub, I met 2 other security guards that were just coming, they were changing, and a bartender, they were just there, they were discussing. Now, while they were discussing, I excused them and told them that I actually came for the guys that were arrested the previous day. The security guards were about telling me something. While one of them, the bartender, he was sitting behind the door. You understand? I was just seeing him through the side of the door. He was using sign language to tell those other 2 guys not to say anything. So I fled up. I was angry. Fortunately for me, I was so lucky that the time I fled up was when the mobile policeman just came in with his bike. He drove in and he was like, "What's happening? What's happening?" Like, "My friend, what's the problem?" You understand? What? Someone had told him it was because the guys that were arrested the previous day, that was why I came. So he was like, "No need to worry now. My friend, no need to worry. It was SARS that came now. The boys were here when SARS came. I was the one that cleared them. In fact, one of them even gave me his number. So he wanted me to, he now said I should come to the side, let him call the SARS man so, they can tell him where they are, so go and meet them. Put the phone on speaker. And I called the guy and said in pidgin English, he was like, "Officer, now me, the mobile policeman for the boss, that club when they arrest those boys for night. How far I beg the people, the boys, the family, then they here. I beg, we on a day, me they come to now. What the officer now said was, no mind them, no mind them, no mind them. No mind them, no mind them, no mind them. These people, they don't come our station today. Commander tell them, say, no, we carry those boys. In fact, those boys, we don't travel them. Those boys, we don't clear them, you understand? Sure, you understand? Nothing they happen. Tell them, make them go, no listen to them. Those boys, we don't travel them, we don't clear them. Nothing they happen.
Well, clearly, the case of Favor's husband, who has, as one of the police officers told her, has been traveled, which in police parlance means that he has been summarily executed. So where you are now is that the court gave an order to the police to produce them, and they are yet to produce them.
We don't even know the particular place because they are now, the staff have now, they are now denying that they told us that they transferred them to state CID. We have gone to state CID. They said they didn't bring anybody, no boy, they didn't bring people there.
The person
so
that
we are just
the person that told his brother that they have traveled them, was it the same person that told them that they transferred them to state CID?
No. The person that told him that they transferred them is like the commander, but the one that came for the arrest, the main person, is the Francis uncle. He was the one that told them that
they have traveled them. Okay. Do you have his number, his name and phone number?
No, I don't have the man's number, but I know his name, Francis uncle.
I don't know because they're not trying. For them to arrest somebody and hide the person till now. No, but at least they would have given him phone. Say, call your people. We've not heard from him. We've not seen them. As in, no way. They're not trying.
The Constitution is supreme and has binding authorities on all persons and authorities in Nigeria. What does that mean? As far as the Constitution is supreme, the last command that every law enforcement agency, every security organization in Nigeria should obey is the wordings, the spirit and letters of the Constitution, which is also where the Administration of Criminal Justice Act derives its powers from. And we should not lose sight of the fact that if the Constitution has said that the police has no right in the course of their duty to detain an alleged suspect with beyond 48 hours, the police as a law enforcement agency that want the public to trust them should stick to that. And how should they be able to do that? How they should be able to do that is the deployment of adequate intelligence on every information available to the police, rather than go into reactive policing that give room to torture, inhuman and degrading treatment. You investigate an information and make your arrest to be the last resort.
As we were told, as he explained, they went to court to get they got the court to order the police to produce them, which is what they call habeas corpus, produce the person in court. And the police have not responded up to date.
Now we filed a case, we filed an application in court, Federal High Court to Port Harcourt. The judge have issued an order of a release order, which has been sent to SAS. Like more than 2 weeks now. The case was supposed to be slated. The case was supposed to be held on the 17th of this very month that just passed. The judge wasn't around, so they shifted it on the 4th of April. Understand? But I'm talking to you now. We've not heard anything from SAS. I can't tell you what my right is right now.
But this particular Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, which we shorten as ACJA, came into being to rectify all these anomalies, all these ills in the criminal justice system. There are so many ills that I can talk about. The issue of delay, which I've mentioned before, is also there. And that delay used to come from different angles. You know, we have different actors in the criminal justice system. We mentioned the police, yes, because when a crime is committed, it is the police you first go to make a report. But the police, everything does not end with the police.
The police arrest. The police frames the charge at the magistrate court. But the magistrate court do not have jurisdiction to hear that matter. So the magistrate court will need the Ministry of Justice, the Director of Public Prosecutions, to issue advice. They'll issue a legal advice.
It is the legal advice that will state whether this person alleged to have committed a crime has any case to answer in court or not.
But many times the process between the first appearance at the magistrate court and when the legal advice is issued sometimes takes as long as 5 years, 6 years, 8 years, or you never see it.
You realize that before this law came into being, the police, they were like as if their power was without limits. They could do and undo. They could arrest you even if what you have done does not have anything to do with crime.
We've not heard anything. We've not heard from SARS. We've not heard from anybody. They've not showed up in court. They've not obeyed the warrant of the warrant of release. Order of release. They've not nothing. I tell you no. I've not seen my brother now. And this thing happened since on the 5th of January. Today is 22nd of March. It's almost 3 months now.
The state, you know, continuing to commit mass atrocity on the part of the citizen. But the Administration of Criminal Justice Act 2015, you know, has been an innovative law that helps to check, you know, the relationship between alleged crime offenders, the perpetrators, and the society by providing measures, democratic measures that has serious respect for fundamental freedom in the administration of justice. One of it is that it forbids the security agencies, more especially the police. We should not lose sight of the fact that in the Nigerian justice system, the police are the gatekeeper. And they have the greatest of contacts with the citizen on a daily basis. But unfortunately, the contact situation between the police and members of the public is always involuntary. Involuntary in the sense that it happens only when the police are doing their quote and unquote lawful duty. It doesn't give room for a non-cohesive interaction that will engender trust and confidence. So in the process of doing this, there is a tendency whereby the police keep violating the rights of an alleged suspects or defendants, as they actually refer to them. And not only that, they fail woefully in building the confidence of the public to relate with them in proactive crime prevention and control. And currently, if you look at the Nigerian justice system, as far as the police is concerned, what we have is a reactive system of crime prevention and control, which tends to further violate human rights.
The whole situation has been disheartening. Imagine the whole family, my parents, my aged dad and mom, you know, since this thing happened, their health condition has been something that has deteriorated seriously.
Since then, I have not been strong at all, and I'm so bad concerning this matter. We have go here and there, no way, and the thing is giving me tough time, giving me heartbreak.
70% of the entire prison population are people awaiting trial, and experience has shown that many of such people spend more time in prison awaiting trial than the duration of if they were to be imprisoned. There are people whose offenses or alleged offenses may attract only 2 years, but they have spent 10 years awaiting trial.
A case in point is the now popular story of Babagana Bulama, which we represented, which we were involved in. He spent 5 years in prison awaiting DPP's advice. After that, he was finally charged. The advice came out, he was finally charged. And he spent another 3 years going to court almost on a monthly basis before he was eventually released. So he spent 8 years in prison awaiting trial. And there are even more pathetic stories. We have the story of Maman Keita, who spent about 13 years in prison awaiting trial. He never for once was an advice issued until we filed a fundamental rights application on his behalf before the court now released him and awarded damages against the state.
There are also a lot of people in prison awaiting trial whose files are missing.
So within the system, sometimes some of these things get missing. We have had a case where about 35 case files got missing in one of the cases we're doing.
So what that shows is that not much is being done to check the inflow of persons into prison and this is of course as a result of the random, indiscriminate random raids that police carry out indiscriminate arrests of people. Most of those people are people who were arrested indiscriminately, and because they were not able to pay bribe for bail, they are charged for frivolous, offenses, and they end up in prison.
What we call raiding in our own parlance here. Somebody is just moving on the street and he gets arrested and is locked up, is put in a bus, is locked up, and from there to the police station. Oga, how much can you bring? I don't have money and my parents are not in. Okay, write a charge against him and you just find armed robbery. And then the person is there languishing in prison. One day in court, live in jail. He's there for 10 years before. If he's lucky, maybe one day the chief judge will come and say, okay, we are releasing this. And if he's not lucky, his case gets to trial and one reason or the other is sentenced, sometimes even to death. So there are cases like that, you understand? So, and like that, so through different means people get into prison. And these are just some of the ways people get into prison.
The police are used to accusing people of, if it is not armed robbery, it is courtesan. And just simply because such people were not able to pay money for their release. 30 people may be arrested at the same time. If 20 are able to pay, they are released. The other 10 who are not able to pay are charged to court. Such people are found in prisons. So when you talk about awaiting trial, many people are in prison who ought not to be in prison.